Welcome back to Stories from the River. This is your host, Charlie Malouf, and we've got some late breaking news, a new store alert. Welcome to episode 355. It's going to be a good one.
Welcome to Stories from the River, a show in which we go behind the scenes at Broad River Retail.
Okay, sitting with me here in the studio today at the mill in our broadcast studio is my business partner, our president and chief operating officer, Manny Rodrigues. Manny, welcome.
Thanks, Charlie. It's great to be here and get to see these new digs. The studio looks amazing.
Yeah, look at this. This is brand new.
Beautiful.
Brand new backdrop, new theme for season 5.
These chairs are so comfortable.
Yeah, great. Ashley Furniture chairs. Yeah. So Manny, you're welcome. Repeat, you're a frequent host, frequent guest. We love having you here on the pod. Yeah. And we got some exciting news to share today. Yeah. So what are we talking about today?
Well, it is exciting. It's exciting to be back with you. Love this opportunity to be with all of our friends who tune in to hear a little bit more about what we're trying to do here at Broad River Retail. And today we get to talk about a brand new store opening. In retail, anytime that we get to grow and anytime that we look to expand, it's a good thing. We know that healthy things grow. And so, Charlie, I'm excited to tell our team, to tell our viewers about our newest location in Statesville, North Carolina.
Statesville, the all-American city, Statesville, North Carolina.
That's right.
A little bit north of Mooresville, a little bit east of Hickory, right there at the intersection of I-77 and I-40. Not far from Ashley's plant in Advance, North Carolina, part of the Charlotte DMA, the greater Charlotte region, the 16-county Charlotte DMA. So Statesville, let's talk about Statesville. So let's talk about the stats first. We're recording this on April 14th. We're preparing for our town hall on the 17th, Friday the 17th, and we'll announce this to our company on the 17th, Friday the 17th, internally. And so this episode's going to publish on the 21st of April, right around the time the news breaks that we're going into Statesville. So talk about the kind of the planning, our thoughts here, and the move into Statesville, North Carolina.
Well, it's an exciting move because, as you mentioned, this is a market that we've been looking at, we've visited, we know we're very, very familiar with it, and so this is an opportunity for us to go in and again, ultimately be an anchor in a really amazing shopping center that is, we'll talk more about the shopping center here, but to enter the market in a really intentional way. A lot of the conversations that we've had is language is cultural. We like to be patient, but also try to enter these markets in a really intentional, impactful way for our memory makers, for our customers, for the community. And so this is just the right opportunity. This is the right opportunity for us to say, hello, Statesville. Our customers in Statesville today, we're very familiar with them. We see them in Mooresville. And so now we just kind of get to go up a really busy I-77 that's growing. You see it by the construction on both sides of the highway, even the tolls that they're putting in there. But we're excited because we've been patient. And this opportunity really gives us a really flagship type of moment to enter Statesville right off the highway in a shopping center that has a lot going on around it. And like you've said, it pegs to our growth strategy number 2, which is how do we continue to look at our current markets and making sure that we're growing our current markets in a really impactful way.
Yeah. Lot to unpack there. So I'll try to take them like the themes one at a time. Well, let's talk about what it is. First of all, we acquired a shopping center. And not under Broad River Retail. We did it through an entity called New River Statesville.
Very creative.
Very creative.
Very
Helps
creative.
us keep it order to it. So New River Statesville acquired a shopping center with the intention of opening an Ashley store eventually. But we had a little bit of a tail of a lease with a former Food Lion. And so we acquired the shopping center at the end of the year, like December 30th, thereabouts. And we just recently here in this past month, last month, worked on an early termination with Food Lion. So what that afforded is Food Lion was operating in 35,000 square feet box in the Broad Street Station Shopping Center, right off I-77. So if you're heading north on I-77 north, to the right, where there's some retail. And we had looked at the Statesville market for many years. We like these. When you talk about growth strategy number 2, you're really talking about the white space in the market for us to penetrate and grow our market share and to grow it profitably and sustainably. And we've really had some success going into smaller towns. We can talk about some of those. So we in 20, was it 19 or was it 2017, 18, 19? We went into Wilson, North Carolina. Right. So that extended our footprint into the Raleigh market, just east of that market. Albemarle was a small town. These are locations we acquired because we can usually do that more economically if we acquire it and put the dollars into it than if we're doing a lease. Greenwood, South Carolina would represent a small town. Even Anderson, where we acquired the box there off Clemson Boulevard, and so we've acquired about a third of our real estate portfolio. But some of these smaller towns, Salisbury was an acquisition. Small town, made sense for us to acquire a box. Which ones am I leaving out of small towns?
Those would be it on small town markets.
Yeah. I mean, you could argue easily is a lease.
Well, I was going to say easy is a lease, but that would be the latest one. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we really like also the retail part off of I-40 going closer to the Hickory side in Statesville, but that's a really tight submarket. And so what really we came to learn about, and sometimes you have to be in the market, be interested in a market, having had already done your due diligence. What's cannibalization going to look like? What's the growth opportunity going to look like? And but we came to find out that there's going to be a lot more redevelopment on the I-77 side, and some big developments across the street, which said, okay, this is going to be revitalized, and we can be patient here. So we had this location. It just so happened Food Lion was moving to another location across the street, so they were more willing to exit their lease early. We were glad to either have them burn off the lease or exit early. And so as they exited early, we are now able to say, okay, let's transform this. We've done a grocery store before, right?
Yeah, I was just going to say, we're pretty familiar with the grocery store renovations up to an Ashley 7.0. So Augusta was a former grocery store. And so lots of interesting things happen when you're taking over a former grocery store with how they have it set up from a deli, from the refrigeration standpoint. And so just, we're comfortable with it. We know what goes into it, and we know how to transform it into a beautiful showroom.
Yeah, you guys have gotten comfortable with it and do a great job with it. It's not our favorite.
It's not our favorite.
It's got its own challenges.
That's right.
But you get the box.
That's right.
We go to work. It's a lot of demo. It's a lot of to get some of that refrigeration out of there.
Yes.
So it's a 35,000 square foot box. Will we be able to have all of that for the showroom? We're not sure. It'll be somewhere between 29 to 33,000. Square feet for us, and but it's exciting because Ashley's got a massive plant in Advance, North Carolina. We do a lot of tours up in Advance. They've got a massive investment, and for us, Charlotte is really home base.
That's right.
And we want to grow our market share in Charlotte. Mooresville's been a great store for us. Hickory's back on the upswing, and we're in the process of remodeling, renovating Hickory to a 7.0.
Yes.
Mooresville just got a renovation to a 7.0. Salisbury's a 7.0. And so this will be a 7.0 Ashley store in Statesville. So we love 7.0 stores. What do you love about 7.0 Ashley stores?
Well, there's a lot to love about them. And so, yeah, I mean, if you think about that, this area of North Charlotte, we have a whole lot going on and a lot completed. I mean, you talked about Mooresville and the transformation for that store. Hickory's undergoing it. They're about 60% of the way there. I mean, Salisbury was unbelievable. And so what do you love about it? I love how our people and our customers respond to it. It's lets the product, the whole concept of a 7.0 is a fresh, clean look. And so we go, from a paint standpoint, we paint all the way to the deck, which isn't typical. We add our lighting elements that really kind of enhance the lumens and make that customer shopping experience so much cleaner. She wants to see it and see the natural color of it as it's going to show up in her home. And so that's important. It's also important to like the elements of how we have different collections and now with Ashley Lux coming on. So there's just a whole lot that the interior and the exterior. I mean, this whole exterior of this, not just our anchor space, but the whole shopping center, because of what you just mentioned and how we're going to invest back into it, it's going to be completely elevated. It's going to be a beautiful, new, modernized shopping center that if you live in Statesville or around Statesville, you're going to want to come and visit. You're going to want to come and see what's happening there. And so it brings us a lot of joy. I mean, I love going to these openings and going and talking to our folks and seeing how they respond to, like, this is, like, I love to come to work here.
Yeah.
I love the fact that this is where I get to come every day and meet guests and show them around.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, the thread I'll pull on from what you just kind of talked about was this revitalization of older properties or ones who've not had the investment, and love going back in there and remodeling, renovating, and putting more capital into bringing new life into them. We've had a lot of joy in that, a lot of success in that. And it doesn't always have to be build to suit, from the ground floor up. You take these dilapidated properties or just neglected in some regards, or breathe new life into them. So it'll be a whole refreshed new look. And then there will be a development across the street. So it'll bring the heat of the market back to our side. What I also love about going into small towns and for our growth strategy number 2 is filling in the white space in our markets. So we won't need, we're already delivering to Statesville every day, and what our guests and people, everything's getting a little bit more expensive, inflation. So where you get more affordable places to live as you go further out, there's a lot of affordable housing in Statesville. So people continue to move out, and there's suburban sprawl, and it's between some big cities. It's between Winston and Charlotte, Greensboro and Charlotte, or Hickory and Raleigh, or Hickory and Durham along I-40 and along I-77. So it's a great focal point between 2 interstates, right? And a great place for commerce, really close to, I love being so close to the Ashley Advance facility, but we won't have to open a new distribution center because we've got this one right here in Fort Mill. We don't have to do, go into a whole new market for advertising or hire a whole new staff for service or supply chain or customer experience. It's really another spoke on the wheel for us to really go after the market. And for folks who live in Statesville, it's creating jobs, it's creating opportunities, and we got to create advancement. Now it puts a little bit of strain on us because we've got a lot of projects going on right now, right? But I'm going to ask you about the projects. Let me finish off the what. So up to 35,000 square foot store.
Yes.
We're announcing it now in April. Construction will begin, and demo and construction will begin in earnest, and with a target soft opening date. We love this date, right before Labor Day, Friday, August 28th.
That's right.
2026, and probably grand opening date maybe targeted for late November
That's right.
or something, or October, November, thereabouts, later in the fall. So talk to us about what all we've got going on at the river. We've got a lot. So Statesville won't be store. We just opened Moscow, store number 36. But Statesville won't be store 37 because you got another project going on up in the Northeast. So talk about what we've got a lot going on right now.
We got a lot going on. We'll have a lot more special episodes. Excited to come back to the seat and tell you about those in the future. But yes, I was just up there last week.
Tell our audience.
In South Portland, Maine, and the great state of Maine. All the Mainers know
Maniacs.
The Maniacs know what I'm talking about. And so I was up there at Jetport looking at our soon-to-be newest location, opening up next month in May. It's crazy to think about that. But the store is looking amazing. It's beautiful. We're on time with our construction schedule. So to your point, yes, we have a lot of spinning plates. We have a lot of projects. They're exciting. We have an amazing team that is together through collaboration is executing on them. We just, of course, soft opened our latest location in Moscow, Idaho. And so that was a really exciting project, and the team executed that flawlessly. The store setup team was just, Karen Ohar and Cherie Rivera did an amazing job. Just really good plan, executed it really well. And now our focus shifts towards South Portland, Maine, as well as Hickory, North Carolina, as we have a monster renovation going on there. But as soon as South Portland, Maine is complete, and especially our GC team in Hickory, we will transition here to Statesville to really transform and revitalize this location into a beautiful 7.0. And Charlie, one of the things you mentioned, like it also is a great opportunity for our internal folks. So as we continue to see, we love seeing stories here. You talk about them all the time of folks that continue to grow with us. And this is an opportunity. We're going to need a general manager. We're going to need some HFC. So it will bring more jobs. It will bring more opportunities to our folks here and to the community who want to come and explore what it's like to be a memory maker here at Broad River.
Yeah, well, we've had Hickory's now being led by Kinsley.
Sure
Kinsley
is.
Phillips.
Yeah, she's doing a great job.
Great job at Kinsley. Salisbury now is David Morocco got moved up to Salisbury. He's doing a great job. And Nathan Jeter continues to do a great job in Mooresville. So Statesville's surrounded by some great talent now. It is. All around them. So we're forging forward this year in Statesville, but we're forging forward on multiple fronts. What I really like about this, because we talked about this year, it's all about people, process, and purpose.
Yes.
Okay, so you've referenced people and then the process of doing them. We're in this, we're embroiled in a lot of recruiting, and it's straining us to an extent, but we're not slowing down. So we're recruiting on multiple fronts. We've got 2 stores open now for Project Cascade in the Northwest, Spokane and Moscow. We're going to cut the ribbon next month on those 2 stores, yes. May 13th, 2 grand openings in one day. We're soft opening South Portland, Maine next month as well in late May. And so that's in the Northeast. That's Project Acadia. So forging forward on those 2 fronts. We'll open a new DC in Maine as well. And then this growth from going from regional to national caliber organization doesn't come at the sacrifice of not pouring into our current markets. Because you also talked about reinvesting back into the barn, so to speak. Right. So we've got remodels, 7.0s, we've got Hickory, and then what's on deck after Hickory?
Well, there's a lot. I mean, this summer is a busy summer.
Well, on remodels.
Yeah, on remodels specifically, we're going to be focused right here in the Southeast. We have some new facades being renovated, as well as our sleep shops being renovated with our captain's wall. So, store of the year in Albemarle, North Carolina, is getting a brand new facade. It's getting a brand new sleep shop. So, I mean, that store has, in that team, the Aces continue to do an amazing job. And,
Pineville?
Well, there's a couple. So Pineville, North Carolina, new facade. They already have a new sleep shop. Our university store is going to get a complete new facade, new exterior, as well as a sleep shop. So there's quite a few that'll happen this summer in the midst of all these projects.
Yeah, and university might be getting a 7.0 upgrade as well, I believe.
They are. Yeah, I mentioned.
Yeah. So there's a lot, and not just reinvesting back into current stores, but then forging forward with new stores within our existing markets. So on all new markets, existing stores, forging forward on all those paths takes great people, amazing people, takes refined processes that we continue to look at and try to get better, and takes doing it with purpose, furnishing life's best memories.
That's exactly right.
And then leaning on things that we've developed, like our Lighthouse Fund, to make sure that we're caring for our people along the way. New people who come join the river, whether it's day 1 or day 1001 of their journey here at the river. So trying to do all those things all at once. We're paddling fast, we're swimming hard, but it's also, you see how people respond when they're being called to the task to, like, hey, this is going to be a bit of a sprint. Retail's a series of sprints. We're in a sprint right now.
We are in a sprint.
We're definitely in a sprint, but it's super exciting to go into Statesville, North Carolina. Brand new store alert. That's exciting in and of itself, and I'm really proud that we're able to walk and chew gum at the same time. I'm really proud that we're able to extend into the Northwest, into the Northeast, and into the Southeast concurrently, simultaneously. None sacrifices one or the other. Maintain, profit is oxygen. Got to maintain a healthy balance sheet. Grow smartly. Live within our harvest. Shoot bullets first, then fire cannonballs. And calibrate and go back in some of the plays that have. And then with regards to real estate, as people watch or listen to these episodes, we're very careful about our real estate selection. And Statesville, you kind of have to be in the market for years, and then be ready. And then when the opportunity comes up, it may or may not work out.
That's right.
We have multiple conversations taking place at any given time, and then when it comes up, it may not be a perfect fit. Like, gosh, I just wanted one box. I don't want a whole shopping center. But in order to make it work, what if? How could it work? And how could we make it work? And are we prepared and poised to do that? So check the box on all those things. There'll be a little bit more of a challenge than most on the New River Statesville side.
That's right.
That comes with good partners like New South Properties, our property manager and our broker Dale Hall,
Amy.
and Julie and Amy, who really help us on that
Yeah,
team.
amazing.
Yeah, because
Amazing.
we're not going to manage the shopping center. That's not our day jobs. We have day jobs.
Yes, we do. It's great. You mentioned forging forward. Everyone knows that forge is our word of the year, and I think exactly what you just described. I think what you described of what we have going on in the Northwest, in the Northeast, and still focused here, and steady focused on all the things in the Southeast. It really speaks to forging, right? The melding of our teams coming together, the melding and really the continuous improvement of our process, like how we look at things while we have things happening in different parts of the country. It's really forcing us to really take the collaboration levels to a different level, the communication of making sure that everyone understands potential impacts and just the scenario planning, like, okay, well, what if we look at this? So forge couldn't have been a better word for us this year. And it's interesting now, 4 months into the year, seeing how it's all developing. Really, really proud of our people, really proud of how they're tackling process and understanding how they keep all three things going on concurrently. But ultimately, most proud of is the heart behind it all. Because what we're not, and what I hear, and I just got a note yesterday from one of our memory makers about the increase to the 401k, and just some of the stuff that the people team's doing on well-being is they're feeling it. They're feeling that, hey, I'm enjoying this season because I see that it's not just about the growth in Statesville. It's not just about the growth in the Northwest or Northeast. It's also about our growth.
Yeah.
It's also about our growth, and that's paramount. That's paramount because we say it a lot. You've said it here on this podcast a lot. We will only go as far as our people will take us or not. And so that's a key element to this growth, to being sustainable, to being healthy, is that we have a really, really high-performing team that's ready to forge together and forge forward together.
Yeah. I think well-said points. Go back and replay those and listen to those points from Manny a few times. I like what Troy Walker likes to say. You don't have to get ready if you stay ready. You don't have to get ready if you stay ready. That's Troy Walker's
That is
quote.
true. Yeah.
So I make this akin to like doing our 20-mile marches that we learned from Jim Collins.
Yep.
There's a lot going on in the world. Gas prices are through the roof, and there's a lot of reasons to kind of like what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz, what's going on with the war in Iran, what's going on with the economy, what's going on with AI, and it's always going to be like this. And the thing is, we're not playing a short-term game. We're not letting the short-term waves knock us off our path. We're playing a long-term game, and that means you continue to march. Whether it's raining, whether the sun's shining, you continue to march forward, to forge forward, and have confidence in your long-term budgeting, forecasting, strategies, people, while trying to get better all along the way. This is a testament to that. We'll continue to, there is consistency over intensity. There are bouts of intensity where it feels like it's intense, but really what you just realize through these bouts of intensity is you were relying on your consistency all along, and you realize what you're really capable of. There are a little bit of sprints, but it is consistency and 20-mile marches and just forging forward with our focus on people, process, and purpose. So that is Statesville, North Carolina, new store alert. I think it'll be store number 38 or thereabouts. We'll see. Maybe we'll have some more announcements. So store number 38, Statesville, North Carolina. If you drive to Statesville, it's called it's called the All-American City. So we're super excited. This is a extension into the Charlotte market for us, further penetration in the Charlotte market, and it's going north of the city, and it's a beautiful city. We can furnish even more of life's best memories to Statesville and to the residents. I remember many years ago, we supported an organization called Fifth Street Ministries. And I remember going out there and we delivered like 120 beds and mattresses with our delivery partner at that time and helped, they had a place for men to stay and to look after them. So Statesville is kind of been near and dear to our hearts. It's a wonderful city, wonderful people who live there, and I'm so proud that we're able to advance and grow into Statesville, North Carolina, and we'll do it because of and with our people, because we will grow as far as our people will take us. And right now, they're taking us to Statesville, North Carolina. So Manny, thanks so much for joining me here on this episode 355. Good luck in Portland, and we'll see you at the grand openings, the soft openings, and the remodels, and the reinventions, and whatever else we got next. Thanks so much for joining us on this episode of Stories from the River. Catch us every Tuesday with a fresh new episode on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, even on LinkedIn, Reels, or TikTok. Thanks so much.
Thanks for listening to Stories from the River. To check out more episodes, visit storiesfromtheriver.com. To watch this episode, go to youtube.com/@storiesfromtheriver. Join us again next week, and remember to like, rate, and subscribe to the podcast.